we're quite fortunate. The type of services we're providing that we're really should be the last things to get cut, and obviously people go bust a different issue. But I think we should weather the storm pretty well.
And that's what we've seen across the portfolio of tech companies, is that if they are mission critical, they are the last thing to go. You're not going to turn your phone service off, you're not going to turn your broadband off, you're not going to disconnect your website in case that order comes through. You are the thing that, I think what people are asking for, rather than a termination of services, are asking for their providers to be more flexible about how the service is being provided and what's being provided. We were talking about earlier, revenue streams from traditional telecoms, minutes and lines, is a much smaller percentage of your business than it was probably 10 years ago. And what are you putting instead? You're putting stuff that's more robust, whether that's hosting, whether that's cloud services, whether it's 365 and Teams. You're having to diversify because the customer wants to come to you for a solution, not just for one part of the IT and comms puzzle.
How do we, given that I think we're all agreed that it's not going to be, the economic situation is not going to be massively impactful on the industry, but it's going to have some sort of impact. So beyond, and I agree with you, Chris, 100%. There is no balance, and there's no. People seem to forget. We've been through stuff like this before. We've had winters of discontent. This won't be the first one, and it won't be the last one. And I'm 100% with you that if you tend to find that by the time you're in the middle of it, you're already coming out the other side of it. But no, but how we don't learn from it is beyond me. But we are where we are. But presumably it is going to, what's going to happen over the next 18 months is going to impact our industry in some way, for good or for bad. What's our view on how we think that it's actually going to be impacted?
God, it depends on your individual situation. Ian's right about mix of customers. I think even if you've got a good set of public sector customers, projects are going to get delayed, investments are going to get put back if cash is constrained. So maybe the plans you had are going to need some flexibility, but your strategy and your aim should still be the same. I mean, we've all probably got some form of debt in the business, so we're looking at interest rates. I've seen predictions now 7%, and we were predicting 3% as a maximum just 6 weeks ago. So hedging decisions and everything else we've been faced with need to be reviewed again. So it's about how you prepare for all of those things. We will see debtor days. We had our first payment plan request yesterday for a reasonably big customer of ours in hospitality who's already seeing people not coming out. So it will come. It's an interesting. I know we've been through a lot of these before, but if you think of what we've been through, the financial crisis was very much banking focused. Yep. COVID was very much everyone and just suppressed demand. This is going to have its own theme as well, because we are in an area of high wage inflation at the same time.
Okay, well, let's do context. If you look at the decade 2008 to 18, that 10 years after the crash, on AIM there's about 1,000 companies, and there's only 3 grew earnings per share every year for 10 consecutive years. 2 of those were technology companies. So it just shows you that if you come out of the short term and look on the longer term, we are definitely in the right space.
Evolution Capital is the first UK corporate finance boutique to exclusively focus on providing advice to the ICT sector. We are the leaders in our field. With activities spanning 3 decades, we have provided strategic and transactional advice to over 200 technology entrepreneurs, shareholders and management teams of both privately owned and public companies. We deliver outstanding transactional outcomes by unlocking intrinsic value in our clients' businesses, by providing expert advice based on meticulous analysis and robust methodologies. This is who we are and how we do it.